I mean, let's be honest here. Looking at this footage, could she be anything other than a DPS hero? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. So, we've got some leaks here that are confirming that Vendetta is indeed a DPS hero. So, take a look at this. This is from Polygon. The headline reads, Overwatch 2's new damage hero is a melee-focused hard light hitter Vendetta. Now, this was not confirmed by Blizzard. Blizzard have not publicly stated what the classification of the hero is. However, Blizzard do send out a PR blast to all of the major publications, and apparently in that blast they're telling everybody she is a DPS hero, because check this out. This is from PC Gamer, and they say Vendetta is unfortunately a DPS hero, which is great for DPS players who want another melee hero to master, but I'm still convinced that she should have been a tank. Heroes like Junker Queen and Doomfist have already proved that tanks don't necessarily need to be huge or have shields, as long as they can make and hold space, and it seems like Lalupa would have been able to do this. Esports GG say this, is Vendetta a DPS or a tank in Overwatch 2? According to an email sent to esports.gg on November the 17th, Vendetta is an Italian damage hero. Overwatch 2's 45th hero steps into a spotlight built on a throne of violence. Her new hero trailer pulls back the curtain on the Italian damage hero who turned her stolen future into a weapon, according to the email text. So I think it goes without saying Vendetta is a DPS hero. I expect to see some sort of confirmation on this from Blizzard fairly soon, maybe in the form of like the ability kit images that they like to drop, and other kind of associated stuff like the gameplay trailer as well would be nice to see. There is also a hero trailer, trial coming very, very soon for the hero. The dates for that are November the 26th to December the 1st. And I think that's a little bit longer than recent hero trials. I think this is because it's over the holiday period. So I think we just get an extra day, but that's pretty cool. So there's a couple of little controversies here, and I actually want to talk about the lore of the hero in a moment, but I think we should just address these two kind of annoying little topics at the moment. So the first one is the name of the hero. Now, what's weird is Lalupa, I actually think, is a more unique name than Vendetta. Now, Vendetta's fine, but I mean, it's a little bit cliched maybe, right? Oh, Vendetta. She's on a vendetta. Her father's been killed, and now she's on a vendetta against Overwatch and probably Talon and all of this stuff. I think I honestly would have preferred Lalupa. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Again, like, I just think Vendetta's a little bit generic. And also, it could actually raise some issues with if there's like a venture and you're trying to call out venture and you're like venture or ven, wouldn't you be saying the same for Vendetta? I don't know. Maybe everyone's just going to call Vendetta Lalupa. I don't know. Maybe because she's got two names, it doesn't really matter. Whatever. But I just thought it was an interesting point to bring up. Now, the other point is the visual design of the hero. Now, I do not agree with this at all. There has been some discussion that the recent art direction of Overwatch is not as strong as it was in the past. I don't entirely agree with that. I think people... in the past, Overwatch had a mega budget. It was one of the biggest games going. I, more than anybody, know this. When a new hero dropped, you had a fully blown animated short. That was like Pixar level quality. That was insane. That sold you the lore on the hero. That sold you the design of the hero. That sold you the character of the hero and everything. Those days are not coming back, because clearly Overwatch is in a different world now where it doesn't have that level of funding, or they're maybe not willing to put that kind of level of effort into these hero trailers. And it's obvious that they've transplanted this kind of animation style over the animated short style that they had in the past, which, can make things feel a bit cheaper, because it is cheaper. Right? Don't get me wrong, it is cheaper. It's got its own charm, and I'm actually on record saying I think this recent one is actually pretty good for Vendetta. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's actually quite nice. It's kind of like in a similar vein to what you see from maybe Valorant or what you see from Apex Legends and stuff like that. Obviously, like I said, this isn't in the same arena as the Pixar quality animated shorts that we used to get. So I think this kind of leans into people thinking that the hero designs are maybe not as good as they were. I do think the biggest issue, though, is we've not seen the in-game model. Now, what's kind of funny is at the end of the trailer, it's just blank. It just shows a bit of Colosseo, and it's blank, and there's like rose petals falling to the ground, it looks like. yeah, normally you get the model of the hero there, but clearly the model isn't finished. Now, either they're in some sort of mad crunch to get it finished, or it's maybe some sort of devious plan they've got to announce. Maybe like, I don't know, a crossover event, who knows? But I just think they haven't got the model ready, if you were to ask me my honest opinions on that. So we need to see her in-game model, and then I think we can make a proper decision. But I think she's well designed. I think she looks good. I think she's unique. Yeah, I think she looks pretty good. Well, unique in the Overwatch world, let's say. Because obviously there's allegations of this is just magic from Rivals shoved into Overwatch. And I can kind of get that, but we need to see how she plays. Look at the bottom of the screen, 8 years ago. That's actually kind of cool, right? So this is the Blackwatch Retribution trailer. That was 7 years ago to us, but actually happened 8 years ago from that point in the Overwatch world. It's really cool. So we're almost the same distance of time away from this event in the real world as was in the Overwatch world, if that makes sense. But yeah, basically it's 7 years old, this event. And I actually think this is really cool because Antonio is a minor character in the story of Overwatch. He's like one of the talent bosses. And those drop ships, if you caught my video yesterday where I was saying, oh, they're inspired by XCOM 2, and they were, because the devs told me that in the campus at Irvine, because I was lucky enough to go to the event to play this before it got launched to the public, which was really cool, because this was them starting their path on PvE for Overwatch 2, and we all know how that happened. Anyway, this was a sick mission, and I wish it was, they sort of, you know, would build on it. But anyway, Antonio gets killed at the end of this by Reaper, or rather at the start of the mission, and then the whole PvE mission is you trying to escape as all of the Talon forces sort of converge on your area. Now, Stylosa, or Vendetta, it turns out, is Antonio's daughter. So she's not going to be very happy with Overwatch, and specifically with Reaper. So that's also going to mean she's not going to be very happy with Talon, because he now works with Talon. But also, don't forget Moira, because she's with Talon, and yeah, and probably Cassidy as well. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So I like this because I'm a, you know, an Overwatch 1 player, so I want to see that lore maybe developed and brought forward, and it looks like that possibly that's what they're going to do with this, and I'm actually really all for that. I think it's great, good for the game. All right then, so what about Stylosa or Vendetta's abilities? Now, they've not been confirmed yet, but we know she's a DPS hero because of these leaks. There's too many of these leaks going around. Blizzard have made a major cock up themselves. So she's a DPS hero. Now, when you watch this trailer, they obviously are basing her moves off her skill set. So we will see things like, it looks like she's got a ranged attack that possibly charges up after taking damage on the sword, and then she can throw it forward. Maybe like a controllable Genji deflect. That's kind of what I go for. But we'll just go through this. It's only a short trailer, and we'll see each kind of thing. So she's maybe got a dash here. She's blocking. See, the sword got charged, then she threw forward a projectile. So it looks like she blocks into a projectile. That would be my kind of guess there. Now, she's running forward here. I think she does like a whirlwind style attack. This could potentially, well, she does a little dash there. See, her sword's glowing red. Maybe she's got an attack speed buff as well, the amount of time she hits targets. Now her sword's glowing black and white again. Possibly some sort of ground slam. We've got to remember, she's not going to have like 5 or 6 different abilities. So some of these are just going to be for effect. But I do think that the ranged attack is probably, I would bet my money on that being a thing that she's got, the deflect into the range, because it sort of makes sense. And again, it's like an evolution of Genji. Instead of just I'm deflecting, that's it, it's I'm deflecting, but wait, I've got control. Almost like a fire strike, it looked like a horizontal fire strike. So yeah, here's her playing chess with the, I don't know, with the dad Antonio. He's killed, the king falls, but then oh no, it's revealed Blackwatch, they've killed him. Reyes blows him away. Oh no. All right, so we're back into the trailer, and now I think she does the whirlwind attack now, spins around. So that to me, yeah, so this to me is probably going to be some sort of AoE. So she's into a block there, spinning around again. I mean, she didn't use a ranged projectile after the block there, so I don't know, maybe they work together. Now her sword is obviously charging. This looks like she's getting ready to cast her ultimate. And she does a jump here. So she throws a sword and jumps into the air. This could be the way the ultimate functions. Like you throw it through a target, it flies off, and then you fly up into the sky. And then when you're in the air, kind of like Sigma, you look for a target and then hit them with a beam. It may only be like it's probably going to be really thin, because like we know she's DPS. It's not going to be like Reinhardt Earth Shatter levels of size. It'll be really thin, I would imagine. And fast moving, obviously do more damage than Reinhardt, you would imagine, you would hope. Reinhardt doesn't really do any damage. Well, it does damage, but you know what I mean. She's a DPS hero. You'd like to see loads of damage. So I think what we've got is a block into a reflect that you can control turns to projectile, some sort of dash ability. She charges up a sword, which is potentially some form of attack speed increase the more she attacks. She's got a whirlwind AoE attack, and her ultimate, she throws the sword up into the air, jumps to a sword, turns around, and then fires it into the ground. I think that's what we're going to see. This is what I was saying, actually, about her model being missing. Would be nice if it was there. All right, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to this hero. Got to be honest, it's been a while since I've been excited by the Overwatch heroes, but it's also been a while since I've really been, you know, into just getting back into the games, you know what I'm saying? I'm too addicted to riding my bike. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I've been Stylosa. You can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa. Do like the video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.